All right, good morning, and sorry for the delay, but thank you for attending Next Generation Trust Services' first webinar, specifically set up for Exit Realty Agents in the New York area. I would like to thank Hector Castillo and any other agents I met earlier this year at the Exit Realty Conference in January. We appreciate your interest. We hope that this is a very informational seminar for you guys, and we hope you learn a little bit. There are two main reasons why Next Generation Trust provides these type of education to agents. First is that your life is real estate and your business is real estate. It's safe to say that you guys as agents are experts in real estate. So why invest your retirement plan in the stock market and things you can't control when you can invest in something you do every day? If you do it outside of your retirement plan, you should really be doing it inside as well. Secondly, if agents find clients looking to invest in real estate or properties, it taps into a much larger pool of funds that most agents are not educated on. And that gives you the upper hand and more commissions, and we love that. My name is Jared, and I'm a representative for Next Generation Trust Services. And the way we'll start this webinar is, what is Next Generation Trust Services? Well, Next Generation Trust is a third-party administrator for self-directed IRAs. And when you invest in an asset with your retirement plan, you need an administrator and a custodian. And Next Generation Trust, as I said, is the administrator. We do the record keeping and the IRS reporting for your investment made within your self-directed IRA. Next Generation is not a bank or depository. No funds or precious metals or anything is really held here in terms of funds. We're not a financial planning service. People call me up all the time asking what the better investment is, what the best real estate market to invest is, and unfortunately we can't help them. Again, we're not a financial planning service. We can never endorse or recommend anything. The plan is completely self-directed, and it's completely up to the client on what they want to invest in. So with that, we ask that you do your research on your potential investment. All we can do is provide education on what you can and can't do, meaning what you can and cannot invest in within your IRA. And all we can do is give a yes or no as to what is allowable. We make it known that even if you're recommended to Next Generation Trust through another company, we're not affiliated with them at all. Basically, we provide education on what you can and can't do. So with that, there are several types of retirement plans that can be self-directed. There's the traditional IRA, which is tax-deferred earning. So that's a write-off now, but you pay taxes when presumably you're at a lower income at retirement age, and you would pay less taxes at that time. There's the Roth IRA, which is for tax-free investing. At that point, you would take a hit on the taxes now and pay it in this tax year, but all of your assets and earnings will come out of the account tax-free once you reach retirement age. The SEP, or self-employed plan, is for self-employed individuals, and it's the same plan as the traditional, which is tax-deferred, only there's a much higher yearly contribution limit, which is 25% of your salary or up to $50,000, as opposed to the $5,000 limit that a traditional IRA has. The simple is for small businesses, while some employer plans, such as a 401k, can be self-directed. It is very rare. Other plans that we have are more specialty plans. They are the Coverdell, which is for education, and the Health Savings Account, which are for medical expenses. There are several options that you can do to fund your account here at Next Generation. You can make a contribution for the tax year. The traditional and Roth contribution limits are $5,000, And if you're over the age of 50, you can contribute an extra $1,000. For the self-employed plan, like I mentioned before, it is 25% of your income up to $50,000. And the covered L is $2,000 per year. You can transfer funds from a current custodian, a traditional custodian where you're investing in stocks and bonds and mutual funds. You can transfer those funds over to your account with Next Generation Trust. And those funds come between like accounts. So if you have a traditional IRA, which is tax deferred, and you want to open a self-directed traditional IRA, it would be a transfer moving those funds over to us. A rollover is moving funds between unlike plans. Usually we see that, and the most popular is somebody who has an old 401k and wants to roll that over into a traditional IRA with us. But anytime you move between unlike plans, the plans that I mentioned before, that would be considered a rollover. And conversions are becoming more and more popular with the economy being so bad, and people are making less money now. They're taking a hit on the taxes in this upcoming tax year just so their assets can have tax-free earnings later. So they're paying taxes now and converting their account into a Roth account just so that their earnings for the upcoming several years will have tax-free earnings. It's becoming more and more popular, and we saw a lot of these in December. There are still some restrictions that we need to go over. In terms of investments, you can basically invest in anything besides two different types of transactions. You cannot invest in collectibles, so things such as wine, stamps, art, or my personal favorite is baseball cards. You can't have that within your retirement plan. There are several clients of ours that invest in a wine company. They don't physically hold the wine in their IRA, but they invest in a company which sells and trades wine. And when I talk to them, they sort of see it as a way to get around the limitations, but in essence, they're investing in a company. They're not investing in the wine itself, and therefore it's a completely allowable investment. You cannot invest in life insurance policies. The other type of restriction is any dealings with disqualified persons. Now, these are people who cannot have any personal gains or interaction with your IRA's asset. These people are disqualified. They cannot interact with the investment at all. And these people are the IRA holder himself or herself, their spouse, any ascendants, any descendants and their spouses, fiduciaries to the account, business partners, and people providing service to the account. So you would notice that up and down the family line are considered disqualified. However, anything horizontally, so brothers, sisters, cousins, you can either say they're owning a property, they can rent out that property, they can provide a service to that property. So if your father owns a contracting company, he is not allowed to provide a service to the property that you own. But if your brother does, he absolutely is allowed to do that as long as it's at a fair market rate and he is actually being paid. He can't do these services for free or at a discount. Another problem that we do see is an IRA holder or a disqualified person living in the property that their IRA holds, or their children are renting out the property that their IRA holds. These are all considered prohibited transactions, and if we do hear about that, there will be penalties and taxes due on the investment at the date that the prohibited transaction happened. So if we found out it happened, if we found out your son was renting out the apartment back in 2005, there would be penalties from the January 1st of 2005 that would need to be paid on this asset. And we've seen penalties and taxes up to 150% of the account value. So this is a very, very serious topic that really needs to be discussed, and we're here to answer any of the questions that you may have on prohibited transactions or disqualified persons. A person called me up actually the other day and said that they wanted 25% of their IRA to be invested in a ski condo in Colorado. And the first question after telling me that this is what they wanted to invest in is, well, my IRA is 25% owner. Doesn't that mean I can invest or I can live there 75% of the time? The answer is no. Once your IRA is even 1% owner, you are completely disqualified from that property, and you are therefore unable to rent it out, even if the percentages still make sense. This person wanted to live there 75% of the time and rent it out 25% of the time. That person was not the happiest customer, and she did wind up hanging up on me, and I haven't heard from her since, but hopefully we can work around that little problem that she had. But now we could talk about possible IRA investments, and the list is a lot longer, and you can invest in real estate, like I mentioned. You can invest in loans, notes, partnerships, LLCs, tax liens, precious metals, and the list goes on and on. Some of our favorite investments around the office is that a woman owns mahogany trees in Costa Rica. Basically, she owns the seeds to these trees and a 15-year contract. So when the 15 years are up and the trees are sold and made into our furniture, she will get a return on her original investment. And we'll see how it turns out in 15 years. It's definitely an out there investment, but she seems to be happy with it. One client wanted to invest in personal seat license for the football team, the New York Jets, with his IRA. He would not be able to use the seat, and any funds he receives from the sale of the tickets would have to go into his IRA. That particular client did not wind up pursuing the venture, but we did find out that it is an allowable investment. And again, that's us doing our research on what you can and cannot invest in. Again, for all of these types of investments, you can deal with horizontally on the family line, such as brothers and sisters. However, up and down the family line is strictly prohibited. Basically, they cannot even step onto your property to fix a light bulb. But brothers, sisters, cousins are all not considered disqualified. And an employee here, actually, she loans money to her brother and receives a return every month. And she seems to be very happy. She's getting a great return on her investment. And the brother is happy because he has consolidated all of his credit card debts into one bill that he pays every month into this IRA at a much lower interest rate than a credit card would be. Any money coming in and out of the IRA absolutely needs to be in and out of the IRA. Basically, you cannot personally fund and then pay back your IRA. The only way your funds can go into your IRA is to make a contribution or transfer funds over. You cannot pay a big prohibited transaction we see is somebody who pays from their own personal funds and then has their IRA pay that back. Again, that is disqualified, and if we hear about that, there would be penalties and taxes and your account would be distributed. So moving on, we're going to go into an actual example of how setting up an account works here at Next Generation. So the first step, which isn't actually listed on here, is to set up and fund your account with at least enough money to make a good faith deposit. And at that point, once your account is established, you can locate your investment property just how you would outside of your retirement plan. When you're negotiating the purchase contract, it would be in the name of your IRA. It wouldn't be in your own personal name. Your IRA, because it's its own entity, it's its own distinct entity outside of you personally, it would have its own name. And the example that is shown here is Next Generation TS FBO for the benefit of John Smith, IRA number 123. It would follow the same format as that. And after that, you would submit the approved contract to us with the deposit instructions. And at that point, you can do your due diligence just as you would when you're normally making an investment property with a home inspection, a title search. But again, you need to remember that these fees need to be paid by your IRA because your IRA now has the contract of the house. At that point, you would submit the approved closing documents with escrow instructions to Next Generation Trust, and we do the record keeping and the IRS reporting on that, and Next Generation will execute the documents, send the funds out, and your IRA is now the owner of this property. And again, we can't stress enough that all income and expenses that have to do with the property need to be paid by the IRA. But again, any rental income coming in would go directly to us and into your IRA, so you would have funds still in your account. And if there are any questions, I would be glad to take them now, or you can get in touch with me. The email address listed there is info@nextgenerationtrust.com. Or you can email me personally. It's Jared, Jaredl, @nextgenerationtrust.com. The phone number here is 973-533-1880, and my extension is 123. So right now, if there are any questions from anyone, I would be glad to take them. We have one here. If we have a client that we want to inform further about this opportunity, should we use the same contact info? Absolutely. You can have them get in touch with me. I would be glad to answer any questions. My name, again, is Jared Lopez. They can email me at Jared, Jaredl, @nextgenerationtrust.com. And they can view our website there. There's some more information, maybe more specific information listed there. Or they could just give me a call. I would be glad to take it at any time. We have another question. If I'm a realtor, can I make a commission on a property in my IRA that I steal or buy? Absolutely. That's one of the main reasons why we provide this type of class or seminar to a realtor. It's another pool of funds that most realtors do not know about, and therefore it gives you guys the advantage in terms of closing more deals. If you know somebody that does invest in real estate, they can do that within their retirement plan, and not a lot of clients know about that, and not a lot of real estate agents know about that. And you can always come to us, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have on self-directed retirement plans. And yes, you absolutely can get a commission from that. However, the only thing is they cannot get a commission from the house that their IRA owns or their IRA purchases. That's the only exception. If a client purchases a house within their retirement plan, they can absolutely make a commission from that. But if it is within your own IRA, you cannot receive commission or you cannot receive commission from that purchase. Are there any other questions that I can take from anyone? All right, wonderful. Well, we want to thank everyone for attending. Oh, one more question came in. Hold on. How can you help real estate agents market this to their clients? Well, we're going to continue doing webinars with Exit Realty, and it would be fine if you want to invite clients to attend one of our webinars here. Or we're located in New Jersey, so they can either stop in the office and speak with me or give a conference call to us, and we would be glad to work out marketing details with specific agents or ways to talk with your clients in order to make it work. And like I mentioned before, we will be doing this on a regular basis with Exit Realty Agents in the New York area, and I want to thank you guys for attending, and hopefully we can talk to you guys soon about setting up an account, or hopefully some clients have some questions that I'll be able to assist them with. My name is Jared. Again, you could speak with anyone here in the office, but I would be glad to assist them with setting up their self-directed account and investments in real estate. So thank you so much for attending, and if you have any questions, please call me at 973-533-1880. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.